we now have the ability to clone a version of Trent Alexander-Arnold in the game. We can grow his attributes. He can be faster, stronger. This is how you get the playmaking fullback on Football Manager. My name is Daljit. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. I also stream 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays over on Daljit's Moments, where you can pop in and ask me any kind of question. On Tuesdays, sometimes on Saturdays, I do draft mode on Twitch. Yes, it's PvP fun. We get together, we play a game of Football Manager, and we laugh all about it. So join me there if you want to try Football Manager online mode. Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a wingback for Liverpool, and in the last few seasons, plenty of commentators have suggested he be moved into midfield where his playmaking skills can be better utilized. On today's show, I'm going to share with you an approach that I have used since FM19 to train playmaking fullbacks in the game. Generally, if you want to create a playmaking fullback, you're looking at the inverted wingback as a role, because this role is the one that drives into the midfield and then starts looking for opportunities for other players. That is perhaps the best role to pick, and it's the role I'm going to be focusing on today. There are basically 2 ways you can do this: the easy way and the hard way. The easy way is simple. All you got to do, go out there, find yourself a defensive midfielder. Yes, you want to look for defensive midfielders because you're looking for players that can play both as fullbacks and defensive midfielders. So it's the easiest starting point is actually defensive midfielders. They usually have the best attributes you need. They're looking for off the ball, you're looking for positioning, you're looking for composure, concentration, passing, decision, vision, flair, agility, balance. There's loads of attributes here. So a really well-rounded defensive midfielder is usually the best option. So for the easy approach, find defensive midfielder, retrain new position, wing back, learn 2 traits: killer ball, switch ball to other flank. The harder and slightly longer way is to take wing backs and get them to learn the playmaking trait. The reason why it's harder is because not a lot of wingbacks walk in with passing, vision, and decisions. Those attributes sometimes can be as low as single-digit values for some of these wingbacks. Whereas in the case of defensive midfielders, those values are a lot higher. So they even have better mentals as well, which makes it easier for people to take a defensive midfielder and flip him into an inverted wingback. When you look at a wingback and you ask yourself the question, I want to turn him into a playmaking fullback, it can take a much longer time, and it is definitely a lot harder because it takes effort and time. Whether you're taking a defensive midfielder and flipping him into an inverted wingback, or you are trying to develop a wingback into an inverted wingback who has those traits, you're still going to end up using the same training schedules. So here we've got a snapshot of our wingback. We are training this wingback as a wingback on support and giving him passing as an additional focus. Our goal is to get passing, vision, decisions up within maybe 2 seasons, and then get him to learn the killer ball trait and switch ball to other flank trait. I'm not going to explain all my training schedules on this video because I'm assuming you've already watched the previous video. The thing about the way I train my players is I only use one training schedule for an entire season once the players gain tactical familiarity. Once they've gained tactical familiarity, I switch to something called the complete training schedule guide, which is here. So I will just change them to the complete training schedule and they'll be using this schedule for the rest of the season. If they have 2 matches in a week, then maybe they'll use my lazy match prep. So they do is they get ready for in between games. There's match practice so that they still focus on their roles. This is a training schedule that always focus on the attributes or individual roles as well. What I do in addition to that is I add in the playmaking schedule. You can find the playmaking schedule inside the Dropbox folder. You can download it and use it in your own saves. The goal of this schedule is very simple. Get fullbacks to be a bit more creative. To do that, they'll be doing sessions which improve their passing, composure, flair, and vision. These are fantastic attributes that can help fullbacks, and when they gain the necessary attributes, it'll be very easy for you to teach them the killer ball trait. It can't get any simpler than this. You got 4 weeks in a month, 2 weeks you do complete training, which covers the whole team. And then the other 2 weeks you do playmaking schedule, which covers the whole team too, but with a heavier emphasis for the fullbacks to go learn those attributes that are needed for their development into the Trent Alexander-Arnold clone. So we've reached the month of March. Our players got 14 for passing, 13 for visions, and 13 for decisions. Now we go to the coaches. We'll pick one coach, go to passing, and tell him that we want him to learn the killer ball trait. That seems a suitable approach. I'll action him immediately. It's a trait that suits athletic players like him. We'll see you later. So our fullback is now beginning to learn the Trice killer ball trait. So we've done all the work. We created our clone, but our clone is not going to start magically turning your fortunes around. You still need a decent way to use him in the tactic. This is a simple example of how I would set up an inverted wingback in this system. So I've got Mezzala going this way, I've got a winger on support, and I've got an inverted wingback coming through here. There are so many ways we can do this. Here, the inverted wingback is probably going to be trying to release the central midfielder on attack and the inside for an attack with some killer balls or passes into space. Now, we also have an underlap on each side of the pitch so that the widest player will look out for runs coming from inside. Now, the important thing to consider is this: whenever you use an inverted wingback, I typically don't like using ball-playing defenders beside them. Otherwise, you've got two players who might be bringing the ball out. Here, an inverted wingback shifts into this position. There isn't a playmaker here. In fact, this Mezzala is going to be in the half space most of the time, so there's ample space for the inverted wingback to dictate the game from a deeper area on the pitch. There are so many potential ways you can use the inverted wingback. I've just shared with you one. You can have inverted wingbacks. You can have central midfielders on attack in front of them. The inverted wingbacks start looking out for those runs from those central midfielders on attack. You can have an inverted wingback coming in on a 4-2-3-1. You can have a Ramdaughter on one end and inside forward on the other end. And you can also have fun with those kind of setups. Believe me, there is no end of fun with an inverted wingback. The only reason why people struggle with the inverted wingback is because they usually end up with inverted wingbacks with poor decision making or low acceleration. So if you've dealt with those two attributes and they have the right attributes to play as a defensive midfielder, you should have no issues with an inverted wingback on Football Manager 22. If you have any questions or you need any more help, please look me up. Drop me a comment below if you want me to clarify any things that you might not have understood on today's video. Please take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.